Hi, hello, welcome to Mask Matter Reviews. This is a spoiler-free review of world's most awaited superhero film, Avengers Endgame. With this, Marvel concludes the Infinity Saga. Before rushing to Endgame, please do brush up your memory by watching Marvel Recap, otherwise you are not in for a treat. I'm not gonna reveal any particular scene or spoil the story for you, so that just like me, you will enjoy the experience. If I do, that would be a criminal offense according to the fans. Whatever we saw in the promo, I'll pick from that. For your information, there isn't a post-credit scene in Avengers Endgame, don't waste your time. I'll start the review from Infinity War. Infinity War talked about one of the deadliest villains of MCU, Thanos. Let me remind you his ideology. Thanos collects 6 stones and he wipes out half of the universe. Here we lose our favorite characters, and Endgame is all about how central characters of Avengers gets back the dead and Avengers Thanos. Endgame is a perfect and a moving closure which is highly emotional and engaging. Regarding the engagement part, if you're a big follower of Marvel series, this is a satisfying watch. For others, you might feel as an extended CG festival. Endgame concentrates more on Mighty Trinity, Thor, Captain America and Iron Man. Also, Endgame plays safe with the characters we saw from the first Avengers. What I found surprising was the leisurely paced drama which is meant for the character development, story building and justification of the character arc we saw over the years, and that is why I fear some might lose their patience. Every Marvel movie focuses a high point for every 15 minutes. Here we don't have such things. I have to appreciate the makers for not going fully fan friendly film. Rather than focusing more on fan moments, Endgame serves as a beautiful story. I would recommend to watch the film in 3D screens. This is not because of great 3D. Well, last great 3D movie from Marvel was Doctor Strange. Endgame contains high quality images and visual effects department has neatly delivered the detailed pixels on the final showdown. Action choreography in climax is brilliantly picturized, having more than 20 larger than life characters. Each gets a own moment of punchline and memorable show off. Marvel blends funny one-liners even in a serious sequence, which is fine as far it doesn't bring down the moment. Here, makers have also got the emotional moment right with the comic timing also. They have literally hit the ball out of the park. This is the film where you will feel happy as well as sad. Difference between Infinity War and Endgame is Infinity War has concentrated more on action set pieces, broad storytelling and character driven film. Endgame is intelligent and it's a story driven film. Let me talk little about Endgame. After the 50% population gone dead, our heroes have their emotional moment and grieving of their loved ones. They are totally vulnerable. Yeah, you heard it right. Totally vulnerable and didn't know what to do next. This is the best part in any superhero film, and makers has paid off for the entire 21 films, which is highly commendable direction from Anthony Russo and Joey Russo. Avengers Endgame runs over 3 hour 1 minute runtime, considered as a longest superhero movie. Since my show was without interval, I enjoyed it to the max. It was never boring for me, and the one who has interval will face some issues. That is, you will be getting out of the character and experience for 15 minutes, and once you hit the screen for the second half, you will be taking some sweet time to go along with the characters. Since there is so much happening and leisured pace, this factor might bring down your experience. Let me talk about two characters from the movie. Hawkeye gets a meaty role. So far we've seen him throwing arrows and listening to Captain America's words. Endgame has opened a new door for him. I guess we might expect him more in phase 4. And Captain Marvel is stunning. I'll tell you what, with 2 hour movie, Captain Marvel didn't make an impression for me, but here, with limited screen time, she absolutely showed us the moment. Whenever Avenger theme music is played, we get a goosebumps, and that adds so much weightage to the film. Overall, for Marvel fans, Endgame is a sure shot blockbuster, emotionally engrossing and leaves you wanting more. This is a heavenly outing for them, and they'll be in cloud nine now. I don't know how Marvel gets the bigger project right on target with ambitious presentation. Endgame is an important event in Marvel cinematic history. At the end stretch, makers lay a foundation for phase 4. Please be patient with that. The ones who knows little about Marvel might get entertained, and the ones who doesn't know anything about Marvel might get a decent experience. Out of 5, I'm going with 3.75 stars. If you like the video, please subscribe to Marksman Reviews. Thank you.